Hi, my name is Ellie Para, and today I will be doing my portion of showing you guys how to make breakfast, which is eggs. So the first thing you want to do is get all of your ingredients. So I have eggs, of course, and then for me, I also use shredded cheese, milk, and salt and pepper. Pretty simple. So you will also need a pan, and right now I have it heating up. That way it's warm when I go to start cooking. And then I have a bowl and a fork to mix because I don't mix in the pan. So the first thing you're going to do is crack eggs. So I'm only going to cook 3 eggs here today. You crack each of them into the bowl. Make sure that there are no shells, because you don't want shells in your eggs. You do that, and it looks just like that, just eggs in a bowl. And then I sprinkle just a little bit of cheese in here. And then you do your pepper. And you just measure freely, however much you prefer to have on there. And then your salt. And then I take my milk and I just do a splash of milk in here. The milk makes them fluffier, makes the eggs fluffier, and then the cheese kind of holds everything together and adds just a little bit of flavor. And then you just take your fork and you mix it well. You want to make sure you break up all of the yolks in your mixture so that you don't end up with just chunks of yolk cooked into your scrambled eggs. There we go. Okay, so you just mix. And then it'll look like this. It'll just look like a yellow mixture. And then once you get it all mixed up, and you don't see any yolk still chunked in there, then you just take it and you dump it in. And again, you just want to make sure that your pan's hot. That way just the process goes a little faster. And then I have a large spatula to mix up the eggs. You pour them in there, make sure you get everything out. So while the eggs are cooking, I like to move them around so nothing burns. If you don't move them around, then you're going to end up with an omelet, which is still good, but for now we are making scrambled eggs. So I gently move the eggs around. And you will see a layer here at the bottom, and it's just a layer of those eggs cooking to the pan. It's easy to wash off after, but I don't like that portion of it, so I try not to scrape the bottom or the sides of the pan too much, so that we don't get those dry pieces of eggs in there. So I just try to move them around and get them put together. And then they will slowly cook. And you want to move them around so that all of the eggs cook from the top to the bottom. And lightly scraping, like I said, so you don't get those super cooked parts from the bottom of the pan. I'm actually going to switch to a slightly smaller spatula to make this a little easier for me. The edges are the same as the bottom as well. Don't scrape those too much, otherwise you will get those dry pieces of egg onto it. So I cook them for a few minutes, 3 to 4 minutes. I don't like the eggs too cooked. If you like them a little more well done, you can cook them longer. If you like them a little more runny, you can cook them for less time. But for me, I cook them until they're solidified but not well cooked on the outside. I never recommend walking away from your pan while you're cooking eggs because eggs do cook very quickly, and you will burn them. You don't want to do that. Just move them around in the pan. And this is about the texture that I like. They're fluffy and they move well, but they're also not burnt, and they're not runny. I don't have runny yolks, which is something that we don't like. So once they get to this texture where they're fluffy, I take them off the heat and I put them into a fresh bowl that I have here. And then just set your pan aside. And then I also like to take just a little bit more cheese. So this is what the eggs look like completed. And then I like to take just a little bit more cheese and a little bit more salt after they are cooked. And this is what completed eggs look like. It's pretty simple, very few ingredients, and quick to make. Thank you.